What's up, music fans of the internet? I'm Derek.
I'm Kevin.
And together we're last week's album where we're talking about good music. But before we go any further, we're going to start things off like we always do. Drinking a beer. Cheers, Kevin.
Cheers, Derek. I almost started drinking without waiting for your cue. Sorry, guys.
Kevin, I would hate for me to, to delay you, But before we digress any further, this week we were talking about an album called Chinese Fountain by a band called the Growlers. Chinese Fountain is their fifth full-length LP, which follows their 9-song EP Gilded Pleasures, which Kevin and I reviewed whenever it came out last. Notable here is Chinese Fountain. This is the first time the Growlers recorded in a modern studio. And side note, a studio burned down during the recording process and they were forced to record elsewhere. I'm not sure where the studio fire comes into play with the whole first modern studio, but we're going to tell you what it sounds like. So we're going to go there first. Kevin, what do you think it sounds like?
Derek, I think this sounds like Mac Demarco and Cage the Elephant throwing a midnight kegger at the beach. What do you think?
Kevin, I like that. I think Chinese Fountain sounds like hazy beach rock, highlighted by poppy vocal melodies, clouded only by less than sunny lyrical content. Not that that's a bad thing. So for key tracks, what do you have?
Derek, I'm going to go with Chinese Fountain, the title track of the album. What about you?
That's a good one. I'm going with Going Gets Tough, actually. And Chinese Fountain is the first of those two, so why don't you start us off?
Sure, yeah. This song starts off sounding a bit like a disco, which is very intentional if you listen to the lyrics. There's peppy guitars, pumping drums, swirling synths, then this sloppy, sweaty, scorching guitar solo, which takes it in this sort of punk arena, again referenced in the lyrics. Later we get this wobbly synth solo that's really cool. Lyrics lament the impatient, scrappy nature of young people in the internet age, like us on the internet. And the deadpan delivery and intentionally throwback sounds creates, for me at least, a true work of art. It could come off as satire. I'm taking it just as pure, plain honesty. But you listen to it and make up your own mind. Derek, tell us about your key track.
Kevin, Going Gets Tough. This one opens up with a playful, fuzzy guitar riff, kind of reggae-themed in nature that really kind of carried throughout the song. There was a soft, boogieing bass guitar line, soft percussion, bass drum, some tapping drumsticks, which really opened up to snare hits and cymbals later on. There were some keyboards and synths to really add some texture. And the lyrics, as the title suggests, Going Gets Tough, it talks about perseverance and deferred gratification, if you will, putting in work for a goal to pay off later in the day. But some good lyrics here. One that just really caught my eye, worries a bully that just won't let me be, trying to keep me busy, tussling and struggling. Just some kind of fun play on words here. Very uplifting song and high energy musical vibe. And so that takes us to best lyric. Kevin, what did you have?
Derek, you totally stole my best lyric that you just mentioned, so I'm going to pick another one. This one is from Chinese Fountain. I hate to keep harping on this one song, but it's amazing. And the line goes, "The internet is bigger than Jesus and John Lennon, and nobody wants to know where we're heading." Just some great phrasing there, and very topical and relevant in modern times. So just really stuck out to me for those reasons. Derek, I hope I didn't steal your best lyric. What did you pick?
No, you didn't, although that was, it wasn't my best lyric, but it was one of my better lyrics. But, we don't talk about better lyrics here at Last Week's Album. We only talk about the best. And mine comes from Big Toe. This one, just kind of get some context, he's telling a story about this woman, or the character's telling a story about falling in love with a woman that just caused him to make just the worst decisions. And he says, "How was I supposed to know she'd ruin me? Beauty strong enough to trick me. Quick clouds of storm so moody. got me looking around like a forbidden city. Just really some interesting plays on words here, and really very descriptive, which I thought they were throughout the album here. And so that brings us to overall rating. Kevin, I'm going to put you on the spot. What did you think?
All right, I'm going to go 4 out of 5, Derek. I think these guys really carve out a nice niche for themselves in their self-titled style of beach goth. It's both grisly and sunny in really nice ways. There's much tighter songwriting and deeper lyrics and better playing, and overall just more focus on this album than anything they've done before. Though sometimes they explore these like darker lyrical themes, the instrumentation and the overall vibe keeps it feeling good and moving forward in positive ways. And overall just sounds better given the modern studio, which I don't think is the one that burned down, Derek. But they do it without abandoning their lo-fi charm, which I think everyone loves them for. So a major step forward in my book. What do you think, Derek?
Kevin, I completely agree, and I'm going big. I'm giving this one a 5 out of 5 this week. I really dug Chinese Fountain. I think for a lot of the reasons you kind of mentioned, the sound I thought was very well developed here. I completely agree how you described them, creating this niche. I thought they did very well incorporating these familiar tools or kind of sounds or ideas, with a slight twist. It was maybe a little more hazy or a little darker or something. And then combine that with the darker stories, which I thought were woven together much better than some of their previous work, which only made them more poignant with the more deliberate songwriting, I thought. In one song, Love Test, he says, "But nothing is easy. Love isn't easy as it seems." And on Chinese Fountain, I thought they made it sound very easy. So that's why I went big, giving it a 5 out of 5. So there you have it, a 4 out of 5 from Kevin and a 5 out of 5 from myself, so a 9 out of 10. So you should probably go check out Chinese Fountain by the Growlers. Thanks again for joining us here at last week's album. Don't forget to subscribe to our shiz, and join us again next week. We're going to be talking about good music. Until then, we'll talk to you all next time. Thanks. Cheers.
See you next week, guys.